Hi everyone. You know, I do have concerns. I will tell you this one right now. 7/14/21, on the 21st of this month, you're going to have a solar lunar eclipse, I believe, where the moon almost lines up with the sun, or it does, one of the two. But anyway, I guess we'll be noticing that. And also, when the planets align up a little bit, sometimes there's gravitational pull, and a tsunami could happen then. I don't want to fearmonger people. That's exactly what I don't like doing. And at the same time, I have reason to suspect that something possibly can happen. I should look at a calendar so I could see if I could read something else into this, and I will do that right now. Look at this date here. Okay. Well, on Sunday, the 14th, now look. Oh, it's on Monday. Monday. Well, the lunar eclipse, I think, is on this weekend, but Monday is the that day that lines up with 7/14/21, and then 28. And that's going to look like it's going to be on, no, it is on Sunday. It is tomorrow, and it is Sunday. The 7th, 14th, 21st, and then you've got the 28th, and 2 and 8's 10, perfect. I mean, is it something there? And by the way, a lot of things have happened. I mean, the tsunamis and stuff and the news and stuff I see, and actually the concerns I have over safety issues. You know, it's Yashua inside the cup, Yashua outside the cup. You know, I was frictioned. I've had the Susan Jane Donahoe down here in this area of Camas and Washougal, and I've warned the law enforcement community about this here stuff, and all the workers and stuff in the area, you know, and I tried to tell everybody about Adam and Eve, and I met Eve right here on this here dock right here. I'm up above water level, you know, not too high, but high enough to where, you know, I'm up above almost the berm, I should say, and I can get out of here and go towards Beacon Rock and be up there by Cape Horn in not very long, and I just pull off up there, and I'll be way up and above tsunami line, you know, if that was to happen. But I had a vision where the tsunami comes in here on 12/13/24, and if I was seeing stuff in the future, like, you know, I tell people the future before it happens, and I've never been one to claim I have ESP. I just said that I was very intuitive. My dad, George L. Wright, claimed that I had ESP. I knew what he was thinking and stuff like that prior to his death. And you know what? I just told him I'm very intuitive. I'm not psychic. You know, probability, you know, like scientific, you know. Hey, things that go bump in the night, there must be an explanation for it. Well, I found out the explanation was, this is the Adam and Eve effect. When Eve went to hell and Adam found out, and how upset these two was. Adam's on the surface, Eve's down here, and I've had people friction me, and Eve and me's going like this on the earth, and Satan's there too, and the Holy Father's watching all of this action. You know, Eve isn't gonna kill me. She's gonna fucking kill those that are against me, and she means fucking business, and so does Satan. Eve's out to protect her man, from what I understand. And by the way, if you feel froggy, just go ahead and fucking leave, and we'll see what the fuck happens. If the cops want to come down and shoot me down, I fucking think they should just line up and all shoot me down at the same time and gun this poor bastard down. You know, in 2014, I even had an image where I was walked down and shot in the back of the head by somebody. That's right. A law enforcement officer, matter of fact. And I was saying to myself, my life is over. But now, it's your life that's over if what's going to happen is exactly what I expect. Because the Holy Father said to me, and I've said it in the past, in that Bible, there's a document, if I say it so, it will be so. Well, I turn this over to the Holy Father too, in that document, and I show you the date when the actual Lord will return, Yashua, Yahweh HaMessiah, Yashua. And all of these churches and stuff that are here in Camas, these Sunday churches, these sun worshipers, these Pentecostals, these Satan worshipers that's worshiping Jesus, Esau, USA, is in the name Esau. This has everything to do with Esau and Jacob, and I'm from Jacob's seed right here before your very eyes. And I know for a fact that it's so, because when I went to the Department of L&I and I tried to log into my account with them, all of a sudden Jacob and Esau documentation came up about all this here. Donald Trump's your Antichrist, and I'm the Lord. I'm Adam in the flesh that came back. You're having the Adam and Eve effect with all this, is what I believe that it is. And if you knew better, you'd do better. I'm like God's detective. I figure out things. It's like the Twin Star Credit Union that's now just turned into peak. You hit your fucking peak. I think that's what the Holy Father says. He sees bad news on the horizon, and these here credit unions are all in the lowlands and stuff like that. And I will say that Twin Star, I had a problem with Twin Star. I haven't been able to log in even into my account for all these months, even though this is past. I still haven't ever got into it. And what happened was Walmart, and you have problems with Walmart and shipping and everything like that. I think this is all an inside job, this whole thing about Walmart actually kind of like downsizing and, leaving the U.S. market, it sounds like, in ways that it affected all these people in the lowlands. And they've also outpriced everything, made this thing like this. And all these here people, these lowlifes, they live next to the beach and stuff like this. They're beach bums. They live down in trashy areas where the septic is in your town. And they're just lowlife people that is hoping for a break for somewhere, and they'll steal to get it. And they're little Republican bastards that's just fucking red with rage. And they hate people, and I know because my family's one of them. Just real trailer park trash as far as I'm concerned, what I've seen of them. And that doesn't mean that trailer park people are bad, but these here people are not quite trailer park people. But they'd like to say that trailer park people are bad people, when it's like this, a group of people that's just living up and above the poverty line, that's getting by because they're being favored in the community. They're selling dope, drugs, and everything like this, and all the people know who they, and the cops won't do nothing about them because the cops are involved with supply and demand, and we're selling to the middle people. And the deal is over here, once you buy your drugs here, when you leave, you can get caught by the cops. It's cops and robbers. It's cat and mouse. And by the way, if this guy doesn't like you, he'll just go, he's got a fucking loaf on him, pull him over now. And bye-bye, sayonara, and that problem's gone. You eliminate your problems. Loose ends, I've been told I'm a loose end like this. And I've seen loose ends all the time getting killed off around me. They were worried that people was going to come tell me about that bowling alley in Morton that was robbed with the D.B. Cooper money caper. And it's all goddamn true. The Zodiac Killer, D.B. Cooper, was the same guy. Absolutely. They housed him right there in Morton, Washington, and the sheriff's office was behind it, and the local cops was too. Hey, you got bragging rights that you had the Zodiac and you had D.B. Cooper, and he went to that territory, and George Fairhart sat there and jumped up and down in front of me saying, now your dad's our slave. And I told my dad, and my dad told Mitzi, and there was a 3-ring circus, and Mitzi comes back and says, George Fairheart never talked to you again. George Fairheart would never talk to me again. And right there, that shows the guilt that family, it stems right through that family into the Middle East. Fahar, Middle East, Lebanon, right there. And these people have favor with the law enforcement community. They wouldn't give these Fairhearts a fucking ticket if their lives depended on it, because, well, they're so rich, powerful, and everything's what I've understood. In the past, Mitzi Fairheart said, you'll never be richer than me. And I figured I already was. Why? Because my richness was with the Holy Father, and it wasn't in money, or the love for money as well. And anyway, if you knew better, you'd do better. I always have the luxury of telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, because I'm the Holy Father's son. In the flesh, baby, I'm Adam and Eve's in hell. And this is what it's up to. You guys might have a tsunami, and I've seen boats and stuff along this place in my vision. It may have not been as bad as all the way rushed up there to Dugan Falls and stuff, and all this flooded. But then again, the Holy Father's, kind of directed me to go east towards Beacon Rock, to get up above sea level and stuff, 400 feet. 450 is what I'm at about, I think, down there where I'm staying is about 450. And actually, I hear that the waves could be, 100 feet that crashes the Washington coast. And I think that the waves could be a fuck of a lot more than that, because I'm getting the thing 400 feet, but that might be where I'm supposed to be. Hey, just think, if you know of a tsunami, make sure that you have a plan to get up on some high ground and just fucking wait it out. You goddamn don't know whether it's going to come all the way in or not, and neither do I. I goddamn don't, but I do know that the Holy Father's going to get even with everybody, and he's going to smash the earth around me to prove to you what I'm saying is goddamn true. Now, by the way, the D.B. Cooper money, the Zodiac money, the John F. Kennedy money, the gold mine in Nevada, the bowling alley in Centralia, Washington at 1501 South Gold, and $400,000 that Robert Clifton Kling, with a C in it, C for cops, cops and lawyers, possibly, all sorts of things, Lewis County cops. Hey, I tell you what, you guys are dirty. You guys set up a Twin Star Credit Union with that stuff, and that's your pension money right there. That's Twin Star Credit Union, I think, is the cops' bank, and that's their extra pension fund. Well, you know what? God Almighty's going to probably destroy your place. You know why? Because Twin Star Credit Union and Peak, you see, Peak is like Park, P-A-R-K, Park Credit Union. And by the way, the Parkers are right there. The Clampetts are right there. The Hillbillies are right there. Yeah, the Hillbillies, that's right. And by the way, God's going to get even, because the 20th Twin Star is in Moutain, Washington, and it's shut down diagonal across from the bowling alley and the cemetery. You see, they'll put things yang like this, yin and yang, back and forth, like the Morton Bowling Alley in Lewis County, Washington, and the bowling alley in Lewiston, Maine. That attack on that bowling alley and that shooting up and stuff was just the backfire to pull pressure from here to there, and then they went from there to California to do something on the corner, an intersection where there was a thing. They went from one to the other to another in Colorado or something. But there was a string of events right there. And by the way, I've been talking about how the beauty's in the name and everything. I talked to Diana, and I talked to the other lady outside the credit union. And I like Diana, and I like the other girl too. But this don't have nothing to do with liking these people or disliking these people. This has everything to do with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And what Satan and Eve is seeing. You know, revenge is mine, saith the Lord. I say, you fucking write down the truth, and you fucking admit your guilt. If you're guilty of anything, tell what you know if you do know. And by the way, these here cops, same thing for you. If you're guilty of something, you're guilty before the Holy Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, the Holy Satan, and the Holy Eve. I mean, they're all coming at you. We're the four horsemen together. Hey, and I'm the weakest link in them, and they use me to an extreme. And I have to show up and comply every day, or what? More people may die. And more people are bound to fucking die. Why? Because the Holy Father says he's going to fucking make you eat scoopfuls of shit and all of this damage and stuff that's going to be around me. So right here in Camas, you know, I'd kind of like to save Camas in a way and Yashua from damage. If your houses and your fucking windows get goddamn knocked out, you'll be lucky. The worst case scenario is you're going to get a fucking tsunami and all the houses in the lower area is going to get fucking wiped out because these are low-life people that probably live in here, and they probably all confess to Jesus and take communion and all that bullshit. God goddamn knows what the fuck's going on. Do you? Do you know what the fuck's going on? Because it's about time that you find out, because the Holy Father's gonna fucking knock your lights out. He's gonna take your fucking strike away. He's gonna make it so you couldn't go bowling with me even if I had a bowling alley. Why? Because he's gonna bury you 9 feet under